A very good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Today, the next poem that we are gonna discuss from Unit 4 is General, Your Tank is a Powerful Vehicle. Before I begin with this, yesterday when I introduced you to Unit 4, I forgot to mention that the title of the unit is Violence and War. Okay, I forgot to tell you this yesterday. Our unit 1 was caste, second was gender, third was race, right? And this unit is violence and war. Now that is why yesterday conscientious objector that we studied was on war. Today again the poem that I'm gonna deal with you is on war. So you may note this down that unit 4 is violence and war. Now general, your tank is a powerful vehicle. Quite a long title of the poem, right? And this poem, this line, this title forms the first line of every stanza in the poem. There are 3 stanzas in the poem, right? The poem is written by Bertolt Brecht. Brecht is a very, Brecht nahi padhenge hum, this is Brecht, okay? German hai, he's a German writer, very popular German writer, novelist, poet, dramatist, right? Now this poem, or I should say these 3 paragraphs of the poem are a part of his larger poem which is titled A German War Primer. So it has been taken from a German war primer and they are the last 3 paragraphs of this larger poem, right? Then the poem is addressed to the generals of the war, all the people who fight in the war. They have been addressed together in the title generals, okay? And this poem is a very powerful statement against war. How? Let us find out, okay? General, your tank is a powerful vehicle. It smashes down forests and crushes 100 men. But it has one defect. It needs a driver. So after reading these 4 lines of the poem, what do we understand? He is saying, General, your tanks are powerful. They are very powerful indeed. But how they are powerful? They are powerful because they destroy forests. They may crush 100 men. They may kill 100 men. But there is one defect. There is one shortcoming. There is one flaw. And what is that flaw? It needs a driver. So what is the poet trying to tell us? That war is powerless and humanity is powerful. How it is powerful? If the tank is not having a driver, how will it work? And who is the driver? A man is the driver. A human is the driver. So man is more powerful and war is powerless. So what is the writer trying to tell us? That greatness of humanity, or let us say the importance of humanity. All weapons used in war need a man. Let us say weapons and machines. All of them need a man, right? First example, he has taken off the tanks. He says a tank may destroy forest, a tank may kill 100 men, but it is useless. It has no use if there is not a man who is the driver of the tank, who is driving the tank. Second, he says, General, your bomber fighter plane is powerful. It is indeed, your fighter plane is very powerful. It flies faster than a storm. Storm, tufan. It flies faster than the storm and carries more than an elephant. The amount of weight an elephant carries, he says, your bomber, your airplane, fighter plane can carry more than an elephant can carry, and it flies faster than the storm. But again, it has one defect. And what is that defect? It needs a mechanic. Bomber की बात करें, tank, bomber, they are made by men, can be used by men only, and can be repaired by men. Okay, this way. So, man is more than a machine. Man is required for everything. He is making the weapons and he is making the machines for the war, and it is only man who can drive it. If man stops doing all this, war becomes a useless thing. General, man is very useful. How? Man is very useful because useful over here means he is very powerful. Your tank, your bomber may be powerful, but man is more powerful. How he is more powerful? He can fly and he can kill. Just like a weapon, just like the bomber, he can fly. Just like your tank, your guns, your machines, he can kill. But he also has one defect. And what is that defect? He says he can think. Now these lines, the last two lines, the defect. The defect that is found in men, this has been used ironically. And what is the defect? That man can think. Okay. Ironically, why ironically? Because it is thinking, or the brain is not the defect in a man. What is it in a man? It is his power. ये आपको याद रखना है. That is the ironic thing. Ironic thing, आप लिख कुछ रहे हो लेकिन उसका मतलब कुछ और है. Similarly, you are saying something but आपकी intention वो बात कहने की कुछ और है. That is what irony is. ठीक है? So, no doubt poet is saying he has one defect. That is, he can think. When he can think, he can revolt. He can refuse. So, he has basically what he has the power. He has the power to refuse. He has the power to revolt. He has the power to think. So, ironically use किया है. Ironically use करने का मतलब है कि defect नहीं है man का. Thinking is not the defect, but thinking is his power. That is why I am saying that it has been used ironically. The word defect for men has been used ironically. And another thing that he wants to say is that no sensible man in the world, because they have brains, they will not think of going into war, killing others and getting themselves killed. So on these lines, a man will never think, because he has the power of thinking, the power of reasoning, the power of revolting, the power of refusing. Now, what is the connection between all these things? Of course, man has only created war, right? If we talk of our scriptures, if we talk of Mahabharat, the war that took place was man-made, right? But what he is trying to tell you here comes from his poem, जो मैंने पहले लिखी थी. What was that? German primer. Yeah, a German war primer. अब इसका ना एक कॉन्टेक्स्ट है. उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट को जब आप समझोगे, इस पोएम की थीम क्या है, इस पोएम की थीम से कनेक्टेड है जनरल योर टैंक इज पावरफुल. और उससे आयरॉनिक आपको समझ आएगा कि ऑफ कोर्स थ्रू दिस पोएम, through these lines in this poem, General Your Tank, he is saying that man is very powerful. All the weapons, all the machines that are made to fight, that are made to be used in the war, are all man-made. If man stops using them, war will somehow become powerless. War will not take place. That is why I had written that it is a strong statement against futility of war, right? Now, as far as this larger poem is concerned, what is the theme? Here the poet tells us the relationship between the ruling classes and the working classes. Ruling classes, let us say the upper strata and the middle strata. The ruling classes are presented as greedy exploiters. They are exploiting the working class, okay? And what is happening? What is the ultimate manifestation? The outcome of this exploitation is war. This is the theme of this poem, जिसकी आखिरी lines ये हैं. General, your tank is a powerful vehicle. So ultimately war की situation कब arise हो रही है? When there is a clash between two classes, ruling classes and the working classes. When the ruling class जो है, what they are doing, they are exploiting the working class. And what is the working class doing? They are revolting against them, as a result of which wars take place. And through this poem, Brecht, the writer, the poet, Brecht is trying to tell us that war is a powerless thing. Wars can't take place without human beings. No tank, no machine, no weapons can work in the war without the help of a man. Okay, so at a literal level, it is a simple poem, but it has a message to convey. And what is that message? That how powerful man is and how powerless the war is. हम ना इसको पावर में ही पढ़ते हैं. वर्ब साउंड won't come over here. It's powerless and powerful. Okay? Simple poem, nothing complicated at all. Everything is at the surface level. So basically what he is doing, he is satirizing the things. He is satirizing the situation that takes place. Let us read what is written here, the analysis that is given here. He says, General, your tank is a powerful vehicle, is from Brecht's German war primer. The poem is a simple one, and yet with a profound meaning, deep meaning. It takes a satirical tone as Brecht criticizes the concept of war. He criticizes the concepts of war. Concept of war. And concept of war kahan se aaya? The clash between the ruling classes and the working class. Okay, clash. Why? Because they are being exploited by the ruling class. Okay, so the concept of war and conveys the message that war, not humanity, is ultimately powerless. War is powerless, not humanity. Thus, poem in a nutshell is Brecht's principle on art, simplicity of both expression and thought. This is how he has written the poem. The poem is addressed to the generals of war, and each stanza begins with the word general. This is interesting because the generals hardly ever leave the front. They leave the lead the front is they are hardly in the forefront when the war is taking place. They are just at the back giving what? Giving instructions. They are perhaps those who are at the least risk of their lives. They plan attack strategies but are distanced, that is, they are far from the sordid business of fighting in the war. So what the generals are doing, they are only making plans, they are only making strategies, they are not fighting at the forefront. It is only right that this poem should be addressed to them, as it makes a powerful statement against what? Against war. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Basically, what Brecht is trying to tell you, Brecht is telling that men are more important, and he is making these generals realize that you are useless, your machines are useless. The power of humanity is above all the powerful weapons that you have. So there is no use in bringing out situations that lead to war. Clear? Nothing much complicated. Still, in case आपको कुछ समझ नहीं आया हो, आप पूछ सकते हैं. Okay? Thank you.